My own son branded me a useless old man, stripping away my money and dignity until I unleashed a $53 million secret and their dirty scheme that left them begging for mercy. If you've ever felt dismissed or betrayed, stick with me and share this story to fight for justice together. My name's Edward Bennett, a 67-year-old widower from Fairview, Iowa, and life's been throwing me curveballs since I lost my Margaret 2 years ago. I'm stuck in my son Nathan's guest room, a cramped corner of his fancy house, forking over $1.300 a month from my measly Social Security check just to stay there. Yeah, my own kids got me paying rent, like I'm some stranger off the street. Worse, they've got me fixing pipes, patching doors, and watching their kids, Emma and Jake, without a dime or a thank you. But every Friday, I trudge through the snow to Jimmy's corner store, clutching my $5 for a lottery ticket. Those numbers, 7, 14, 23, 31, 45, Powerball, 18, are my lifeline to Margaret. The day we got married, the day Nathan was born, our anniversaries, the years we built a home. That ticket's my stubborn hope, a quiet way to keep fighting. It's a gray December morning, cold enough to freeze your bones. And I'm out here walking to Jimmy's snow, crunching under my boots. The wind's biting my face, but it's the one time I feel like me, not some old man they shove aside. Jimmy, the kid behind the counter, still calls me Mr. Bennett like I'm somebody. The usual, he asks, grinning like when I brought Nathan in for penny candy years ago. You bet, I say, handing over my $5. He prints the ticket, and those numbers hit me like a warm memory. 7 for the day I married Margaret, her smile brighter than the Iowa sun. 14 for Nathan's birth, when I swore I'd give him the world. 23 for our anniversary, all those years of love. 31 for our house number. 45 for the years we had. 18 for Nathan's graduation when he looked me in the eye and said, "Dad, you're my hero. Cross your fingers for me, Jimmy," I say, tucking the ticket in my wallet. "Always do, Mr. Bennett. You're due for some luck." If only he knew. Walking back, I pass our old house, the white one with black shutters, the one that screamed family. New owners painted it some god-awful yellow, and I can almost hear Margaret cursing from above. She used to say, "Edward, our house looks like dignity, like decent folks live here." Decent folks. Now I'm living with the boy we raised, and he's letting his wife treat me like a tenant. Nathan's wife, Vanessa, her BMW's parked in the driveway, gleaming like it's laughing at my rusty Ford. Through the kitchen window, I see her on the phone waving her hands, probably whining about how I'm cramping her style. I let myself in through the back door, hang my coat on a hook that's not mine anymore. "Ed, that you?" Vanessa's voice slices through sharp as a knife. "Yeah, just me," I say, holding back the urge to snap. "Sorry for existing." "Ed, don't mess up the kitchen," she says, not looking up from her phone. "We're not running a charity here." Nathan's in the corner nodding like he agrees, not even thanking me for fixing the damn door he asked about yesterday. Her words sting like a slap to the man who built a home for this family. I've been swallowing my pride for 2 years, telling myself it's just temporary, just until I get back on my feet. But every time I fix a leaky faucet, or chase after Emma and Jake while they go off for date night, I feel my old self fading. The man who hammered nails, paid the bills, and was the rock of this family. Margaret used to say, "Edward, you're our strength." Now I'm just a guy they use, and it's eating me alive. Back in my room, I sit on the bed staring at the beige walls that don't feel like home. I pull out my wallet, check the lottery ticket. Those numbers a reminder of who I was. Then I spot something in the corner under a pile of old sweaters, Margaret's toolbox. She loved fixing things with me, her hands steady, her laugh filling the air. I drag it out, the metal cold under my fingers, and pop it open. Inside, there's a sealed envelope with my name in her handwriting, shaky, like she wrote it in her final days when cancer was stealing her away. My heart skips. A letter from Margaret. After all this time, I want to tear it open, but fear stops me, fear of what she might say of facing her when I'm this broken. I shove it back, not ready yet. But it's there, whispering like it knows something I don't. I close my eyes, and I'm back in our yard, fixing Nathan's bike, his little voice saying, "Dad, I'll never let you suffer. I promise." Where's that boy now? How did he turn into a man who nods when his wife treats me like dirt? I clutch that ticket tighter, my one dumb hope. Maybe it's foolish, but it's mine. And deep down I feel a spark, the man who built a family, who didn't let anybody walk over him. If you're with me, stick around because this story's about to get wild, and I'm not done fighting for my honor. So here's where things get uglier, and trust me, you're gonna want to punch something by the end of this. I'm Edward Bennett, stuck in this guest room in my son Nathan's house, feeling like a stranger in a place I'm paying through the nose to live in. Every day's a grind, $1.300 a month from my Social Security check, and that's not even counting the hours I spend fixing their creaky doors, unclogging their pipes, or chasing after their kids, Emma and Jake. They call it family duty, but I'm starting to think it's just a fancy way of saying free labor. Vanessa, my daughter-in-law. She's the one running this show, and let me tell you, she's got a heart colder than an Iowa winter. Nathan, he's my boy, but he just looks the other way like he's too spineless to stand up to her. And then there's this paper she shoved in my face, a so-called family investment fund, that's got me wondering what the hell they're really up to. It's a Tuesday morning, and I'm in the garage, elbow deep in a toolbox, trying to fix their front door hinge that's been squeaking like a banshee. Vanessa pokes her head in all business like I'm her personal handyman. "Ed, while you're at it, can you check the kitchen faucet?" "It's dripping again," she says, "not even a please." I wipe the sweat off my brow, nod and say, "Sure thing, Vanessa. What I want to say is, lady, I'm not your damn maintenance crew, but I bite my tongue. I've been biting it a lot lately, trying to keep the peace, trying to hold on to whatever's left of the man I used to be." Nathan's in the living room, scrolling on his phone, hands shaking as he glances at a stack of bills on the counter. I catch his eye, hoping for a shred of gratitude, but he just mumbles, "Thanks, Dad," and looks away like he's ashamed to see me like this. That cuts deeper than Vanessa's orders. This is the boy I raised to be strong, to take care of family. And now he's letting his wife walk all over me. Later that day, I'm folding laundry in the back room. Yeah, that's part of my family duty too, when I hear Vanessa on the phone in the kitchen. She's talking to her sister, thinking I'm out of earshot. Grandpas are so helpful with the kids, she says, all sweet, because Emma's nearby. But the second Emma runs off, her tone changes. "God, having Ed here is like dragging around dead weight," she sneers. "But his checks are keeping us afloat, so we deal with it." My heart sinks, but I keep folding each crease in the shirts, feeling like a jab to my pride. Dead weight. Me, the guy who built a house from scratch, who worked double shifts to put Nathan through school. I want to storm in there, tell her where she can shove her fancy BMW, but I don't. I listen, and then I hear her say, "Once we get his signature on that investment fund, we're set. No more scraping by." Investment fund. My stomach twists. What are they cooking up? That evening, Vanessa corners me at the kitchen table, all smiles like she's selling me a used car. "Ed, we've been thinking about the family's future," she says, sliding a stack of papers toward me. "This is a family investment fund, something to secure us all. Just needs your signature." The way she says family makes my skin crawl like it's a business deal, not a bond. I glance at the papers, my eyes catching the signature line. There's my name, Edward Bennett, already filled in, but the handwriting's off, too neat, too sharp, not my messy scrawl. "What's this about Vanessa?" I ask, keeping my voice steady, though my gut's screaming, "Something's wrong." She waves it off, saying, "Oh, just standard stuff, Ed. Don't worry your head about it." Nathan's sitting there staring at those bills again, hands shaking, not saying a word, just nodding like he's on board. I push the papers back, say I'll think about it, but my mind's racing. That signature's not mine. I head back to my room, my chest tight with anger and shame. I've spent my life being the rock for this family. Margaret and I worked our tails off to give Nathan a good life, to teach him right from wrong. And now I'm their cash cow, their fix-it guy, their babysitter, all while they're scheming behind my back. I think about that toolbox I found last week, Margaret's toolbox with that letter inside I'm too scared to open. Maybe she knew something I don't. Maybe she saw this coming. I think about Nathan as a boy, promising to take care of me, and wonder where I went wrong. I sit on the bed staring at those beige walls that feel like a prison, and I can't shake the feeling that I'm being played. My pride's taking a beating, but I'm not ready to roll over yet. I've got to keep my head on straight, keep playing the good old dad, because something tells me this investment fund is the key to whatever they're hiding. If you're still with me, hang on tight. This is just the start of the storm. All right, buckle up, because this one's gonna hit you right in the feels. I'm Edward Bennett, still reeling from that shady investment fund Vanessa tried to pull over on me with my own name forged on it, like I'm some chump. But it's not just the money or the scheming that's eating at me, it's Nathan, my boy, the one I raised to be better than this. Every time I see him dodge my eyes, it's like a knife twisting in my gut, reminding me of the man I used to be, the dad who built a life for his family with Margaret by my side. Back then, I thought I was teaching Nathan what it meant to be a man, responsibility, honor the works. Now, watching him let Vanessa treat me like dirt, I'm starting to wonder where I went wrong. And there's this nagging memory of Margaret, her voice whispering about some gift to protect me, that's got me thinking she saw this betrayal coming. It's a quiet Wednesday afternoon, and I'm out back in Nathan's yard, wrestling with a busted fence post that's been driving Vanessa nuts. She hollers from the porch, "Ed, can you hurry up with that? It's an eyesore. No, please, no. Thank you." Just that sharp tone that makes me feel like I'm on her payroll. I grunt, working on it, but my hands are shaking. Not from the cold, but from the weight of it all. Nathan's inside, sprawled on the couch, scrolling through his phone like he's got no care in the world. I call out, "Hey, Nate, want to give your old man a hand?" hoping for a flicker of the kid I raised. He glances up, mutters, "Kinda busy, Dad," and goes right back to his screen. Busy. Doing what? Avoiding me? That's when it hits me hard like a hammer to the chest. This isn't just about a fence post. It's about everything I thought I'd passed down to him, all the lessons that seemed to have gone out the window. I close my eyes and I'm back in our old yard. The White House with black shutters glowing under the summer sun. Nathan's maybe 8, all skinny arms and big dreams watching me fix his bike chain. "Dad, you're the strongest guy I know," he says, his eyes shining like I'm some kind of superhero. I laugh, ruffle his hair, and say, "Kid, it's not about being strong, it's about doing right by your family. You take care of no matter what." He nods all serious and promises, "I'll always protect you, Dad, like you protect us." Margaret's there too, leaning against the porch, smiling that smile that made everything okay. She chimes in, "Edward, you're teaching him what matters, honor, responsibility." I believed it, then believed Nathan would grow up to be the kind of man who'd have my back, like I had his. God, how did we get from there to here? Back in the present, I'm still wrestling with that damn fence post, my knuckles sore, my pride sorer. Vanessa's voice cuts through again. Ed, don't forget to pick up Emma and Jake from school later. We've got plans. Plans, right. Another night of them jetting off while I play babysitter for free. I look at Nathan through the window, hoping for some sign he's still my boy, but he's glued to his phone, avoiding my gaze like I'm invisible. It's not just that he's letting Vanessa run the show, it's that he's forgotten everything I taught him. Honor, responsibility. Those words feel like a cruel joke now. I think about that moment in the garage yesterday when he mumbled, "Thanks, Dad, for fixing the door," his hands shaking over a stack of bills. Is he in over his head? Is that why he's letting her treat me like this? But then I remember his nod when she snapped. We're not running a charity here, and it feels like a betrayal, deeper than any debt. Sitting on the back steps, catching my breath, I can't stop thinking about Margaret. She always had a way of seeing through people like she had a sixth sense for trouble. A few months before she passed, when the cancer was winning, she grabbed my hand, her voice weak but fierce. "Edward," she said, "if this family ever hurts you, I've left you a gift to protect yourself. Don't let them break you." I laughed it off, then thought she was just being dramatic. But now, that toolbox in my room with her shaky handwriting on that envelope is starting to feel like more than a memory. What did she know? Did she see Nathan turning into this man who can't even look me in the eye? The thought makes my chest ache, not just for her, but for the family we built, the one that's crumbling under my feet. I head inside the fence post fixed, but my heart heavier than ever. Nathan's still on the couch, and I want to shake him, ask him where the boy who called me his hero went. But I don't. I've been holding back playing the good old dad because that's all I've got left. But that forged signature on Vanessa's papers, her dead weight comment, they're burning a hole in me. I'm not just disappointed in Nathan, I'm mad as hell, and it's waking something up inside. Margaret's words, that gift she mentioned, they're rattling around in my head, pushing me to do something. I'm not ready to open that letter yet, but I know I can't keep swallowing my pride forever. If you're still here, stick with me. This fight's just getting started, and I'm done letting them walk all over me. All right, you're still with me, so let's dive into the moment. Everything started to click and break my heart all over again. I'm Edward Bennett, a 67-year-old widower living in my son Nathan's guest room, getting played by him and his wife Vanessa like some chump. That forged signature on their shady investment fund papers is still burning a hole in my brain, and Nathan's spineless act dodging my eyes, while Vanessa treats me like hired help, is eating me alive. But it's that toolbox, Margaret's toolbox, sitting in the corner of my room with that shaky lettered envelope that's been haunting me. I've been too scared to open it, afraid of what my Margaret might say from beyond the grave. Tonight, though, something snaps. Maybe it's the weight of Nathan's betrayal, or maybe it's that spark of the old me fighting to get out. I grab that letter, and what I find inside flips my world upside down, showing me just how deep this mess goes. It's late, probably past 10, and the house is quiet, except for the hum of the fridge. Nathan and Vanessa are out at some fancy dinner, leaving me to babysit Emma and Jake, who are finally asleep upstairs. I'm sitting on my creaky bed, staring at that toolbox like it's got all the answers. My hands are trembling as I pull it out from under the pile of sweaters, the metal cold as ice. I pop it open, and there's that envelope, my name scrawled in Margaret's handwriting, shaky, like she was fighting to hold the pen in her final days. I can almost see her cancer stealing her strength, but her eyes still fierce. Still my Margaret. I take a deep breath, muttering to myself, "Come on, Ed, don't be a coward." I tear it open, and her words hit me like a freight train. "Edward," it starts. "If you're reading this, I'm gone. And I'm so sorry I left you to face this alone." My throat tightens, and I have to blink hard to keep reading. She goes on, "I've always known you're the strongest man I know, but I'm scared for you. Nathan, he's not the boy we raised. A few years back, he got in deep with gambling, $20,000 in debt. I paid it off, kept it from you to spare you the pain. Watch out for Vanessa. She's sharper than she seems. I'm afraid Nathan hasn't changed. If they ever hurt you, I've left you a shield. Go to Lawrence, our lawyer. He'll know what to do. Don't let them break you, Edward. You're my rock always." I sit there stunned, the letter shaking in my hands. Nathan, my boy, a gambler, and Margaret carrying that secret to protect me. I can't let his mistakes hurt Emma and Jake, too. I feel like the floors dropped out from under me. I lean back, the letter still clutched tight, and I'm right back in our old kitchen, the white house with black shutters glowing under the summer sun. Nathan's maybe 16, bragging about his baseball game while Margaret stirs soup. I'd lecture him, "Son, life's not about quick wins. It's about doing right, owning your mistakes." He'd nod, say, "I get it, Dad," and I believed him. But now, that $20,000 debt Margaret hid. It's like a punch to the gut. She took that burden, and so I wouldn't have to, and I'm mad as hell at Nathan for putting her through that. Worse, I'm mad at myself for not seeing it. Was I too busy being the big, strong dad to notice my boy was slipping? And now, with Vanessa's fake signature and her dead weight jab, I'm starting to see the picture. They're not just using me, they're banking on me being too broken to fight back. I think about Vanessa with her slick smiles and that investment fund nonsense. That forged signature, did Nathan know about it? Is he in on this, or is he just too weak to stand up to her? I remember his hands shaking over those bills yesterday, the way he wouldn't meet my eyes when I asked for help with the fence. Maybe he's drowning in debt again, letting Vanessa call the shots because he's scared. But that doesn't make it hurt any less. My boy, the one who called me his hero, has turned his back on everything I taught him. And Margaret, God, she knew. She saw this coming, carried this secret to her grave to keep me from breaking. That shield she mentioned with Lawrence, it's got to be something big, a trust fund or a plan. I'm dying to know, but I'm also terrified of what it means. I fold the letter, tuck it into my pocket, and feel my heart pounding with grief for Margaret, rage at Nathan, and something else, a fire I haven't felt in years. I'm done playing the good old dad, taking their crap, while they scheme behind my back. Margaret didn't just leave me a letter. She left me a way out, a chance to stand tall again. I grab my old address book, find Lawrence's number, and make up my mind. Tomorrow, I'm calling him. I don't know what this shield is, but if Margaret thought it could save me, I'm damn well going to find out. I'm not broken yet, and I'm sure as hell not letting Nathan and Vanessa think they've won. If you're still here, stick with me. This is about to get real. All right, if you thought things couldn't get worse, buckle up, because Vanessa's about to show her true colors, and it's uglier than a bad paint job. I'm Edward Bennett, a 67-year-old widower still reeling from that letter from Margaret, the one that blew the lid off Nathan's gambling debt and her secret plan to protect me. That forged signature on their investment fund papers already had me on edge, and now I'm seeing Nathan for who he is, a guy who's forgotten every damn thing I taught him. But Vanessa? She's the mastermind, and she's got a new scheme that's got my blood boiling. They're planning to shove me into their basement like some old junk they don't want to look at, and I'm starting to piece together just how far they're willing to go to bleed me dry. Then I find something that confirms it all, and let me tell you, it's lit a fire under me I didn't know I still had. It's a chilly Friday morning, and I'm in the kitchen sipping weak coffee when Vanessa struts in with a roll of blueprints, all smiles like she's about to do me a favor. "Ed, we've got big news," she says, spreading the papers across the table like she's unveiling a masterpiece. "We're turning the basement into a private space for you, a real nice setup, your own little apartment." Private space. My foot. I glance at the plans, and it's nothing but a damp, half-finished basement with a cheap sink and a single window smaller than my toolbox. Nathan's hovering nearby, looking uneasy, but nodding along like he's sold on it. I ask what's wrong with the guest room, and Vanessa's smile tightens. "Well, Ed, we're a growing family. We need the space upstairs. Besides, you'll love the privacy. Privacy, I'm no fool, that's code for get out of our way." Then I overhear her on the phone later with the contractor, her voice low, thinking I'm out of earshot. "Use the cheapest stuff you got," she says. "It's just for an old guy. We need to stash down there." Stash me like I'm some broken chair they're hiding. That afternoon I'm in my room still fuming about their basement plan when I notice the door's ajar. Vanessa's been in here, I can tell, because my stack of old receipts on the dresser is out of order, like someone's been poking around. My gut's screaming that this is tied to those investment fund papers with my name forged on them. I've been keeping my eyes peeled since I read Margaret's letter, warning me about Nathan's gambling and Vanessa's sharp edges. What are they after now? More of my Social Security. Something worse. I start tidying up, trying to shake the feeling I'm being watched in my own damn space when I decide to take out the trash. That's when I see it crumpled in the garbage can, a copy of that investment fund document with my name scrawled in that same, too neat handwriting. It's not mine, not even close. My heart's pounding like a jackhammer. They're not just using me, they're forging my name to lock in whatever scam they're cooking up. I sit on the bed, that crumpled paper in my hands, and I'm so mad I could punch a wall. I built a life for this family, hammered nails, paid bills, taught Nathan to be a man, not some spineless yes-man to Vanessa's schemes. And now they want to shove me in a basement, like I'm nothing but a burden. I think about Nathan, how he stood there nodding at Vanessa's blueprints, not even looking me in the eye. I keep seeing his hands shaking over those bills the other day, like he's drowning in debt again, just like Margaret warned. Is that why he's letting her do this? Because he's too weak to stand up. It doesn't make it hurt any less. My boy's betraying me, and Vanessa's the one pulling the strings, treating me like some old fool they can fleece. But Margaret's words in that letter, "Don't let them break you." Edward, they're ringing in my head loud and clear. I think about Emma and Jake, those sweet kids sleeping upstairs, and how I can't let Nathan and Vanessa drag them into this mess. I've got to protect them like I always protected my family. That forged paper in my hand, it's proof they're playing dirty, and I'm not letting it slide. I tuck it into my pocket right next to Margaret's letter and make a mental note to call Lawrence tomorrow. If Margaret left me a shield like she said, I'm damn well going to find out what it is. My pride's taken a beating, but I'm not down for the count. I'm done being their doormat. Done letting them think I'm too old to fight back. Vanessa's smug blueprints and that fake signature they've just lit a fuse, and I'm ready to start gathering the evidence to blow their scheme wide open. If you're still with me, hang on, this is where I start fighting dirty too. Okay, if you're still hanging in there, this is where I get a spark of hope that just might change everything. I'm Edward Bennett, a 67-year-old widower worn out from Nathan and Vanessa's games, those forged papers their plan to shove me in the basement, and the gut punch of Nathan's old gambling debt from Margaret's letter. I'm carrying that crumpled investment fund document in my pocket. Proof they're trying to screw me over, and I'm mad as hell, but not sure what to do next. That's when Mildred comes in, my old pal from the senior center, with her sharp eyes and no-nonsense attitude. She sees right through my exhaustion, shares her own story of being burned by family, and lights a fire under me to fight back. Suddenly, I'm not just a tired old man, I'm ready to take on Vanessa's schemes and protect what's left of my honor. It's a gray Saturday morning, and I'm at the Fairview Senior Center sipping burnt coffee and trying to get a break from Nathan's house. I'm beat, my back's sore from fixing their damn fence. My hands are calloused from unclogging pipes, and my heart's heavy from carrying Margaret's letter and that forged paper. Mildred, this firecracker of a woman who's been my friend since we started playing cards here, slides into the seat across from me. "Ed, you look like you've been run over by a truck," she says, her Iowa drawl thick as molasses. I try to laugh it off, muttering, "Just keeping the family happy," but she's not buying it. "Bull," she says, leaning in. "You're killing yourself for those kids, and they're treating you like dirt. Spill it, what's going on?" Her eyes are sharp, like she's already got my number, and I can't hold it in anymore. I tell her everything: Vanessa's private space in the basement, her calling me an old guy to stash Nathan's spineless, nodding the forged signature on that shady investment fund. I pull out the crumpled paper from my pocket, showing her my name in that too neat handwriting. Mildred's face hardens and she lets out a low whistle. "Ed, that's not just low, it's downright dirty," she says. Then she leans back, her eyes distant, and tells me her story. "My own sister kicked me out after Dad died, took his savings and left me high and dry. Said I was too old to matter. But you know what? I got back up, found my own place, and never let her forget it. Honor doesn't have an expiration date, Ed." Her words hit me like a shot of whiskey, warming me up inside. I think about Emma and Jake, and how I can't let Nathan and Vanessa mess up those kids' lives. Mildred's right. Nathan and Vanessa think I'm too old to fight, but I'm not done yet. Mildred grabs the forged paper, squinting at it, like it's evidence in a crime show. "This ain't just a mistake," she says. "Vanessa might be after your old house's deed or whatever's left from Margaret, something bigger than just your Social Security. You need to take this to a lawyer pronto." "You got one," I nod, thinking of Margaret's letter, the one that told me to call Lawrence, our old lawyer, about her shield. I haven't made the call yet, too much pride maybe, or fear of what I'll find. But Mildred's not letting me off easy. "Ed, you're a good man, a good dad. You built a life for that boy, and he's throwing it back in your face. Don't let him and that snake of a wife win. Call this Lawrence guy, show him that paper, and find out what Margaret left you. You owe it to her and to yourself." Her voice is steady, like she's daring me to stand up. I think about Nathan, how he's turned into this guy who can't even look me in the eye. His hands shaking over bills like he's drowning again. I think about Vanessa, with her fake smiles and blueprints scheming to shove me out of sight while forging my name. Margaret's warning, "Watch out for Vanessa, she's sharper than she seems," is screaming in my head now. Mildred's story, her fire, it's like a wake-up call. I've been swallowing my pride for too long, playing the good old dad while they walk all over me. But that forged paper in my pocket, Margaret's letter, and Mildred's words, they're telling me I've got a fight left in me. I can't let Nathan and Vanessa drag Emma and Jake into their mess either. I leave the senior center with a new kind of energy, like a weight's been lifted off my chest. I pull out my phone scroll to Lawrence's number and make the call right there in the parking lot. Lawrence, it's Ed Bennett. I say, my voice steadier than it's been in months. I need to see you about something Margaret left me, and some papers I found. As I hang up, I feel that spark from Margaret's letter growing into a flame. Vanessa thinks she's got me cornered, and Nathan's too weak to stop her, but I'm not going down without a fight. Mildred's right honor doesn't have an expiration date, and I'm ready to prove it. If you're still with me, keep up, because this old man's about to show them what I'm made of.
All right, Teach.
All right, hold on to your hat, because this is where the game changes, and I'm not talking about some piddly little win. I'm Edward Bennett, a 67-year-old widower, still stinging from Nathan and Vanessa's dirty tricks. Those forged papers, their plan to stash me in the basement, and that gut-wrenching letter from Margaret about Nathan's gambling debt. Mildred's words at the senior center lit a fire under me, and I'm ready to call Lawrence to dig into their schemes, but life's about to throw me a curveball I never saw coming. I'm sitting in front of the TV one night, and bam, my lottery ticket, the one I've been buying for years with Margaret's numbers, hits the jackpot. $53 million. I'm floored, but I'm not about to let Nathan and Vanessa in on it. Margaret's voice telling me to protect my honor is ringing in my ears, and I'm keeping this secret close to my chest. This is my chance to take back everything they've tried to strip away. It's a Friday night, and I'm in my cramped guest room, the TV blaring the late news while I'm half asleep on the bed, that forged investment fund paper, and Margaret's letter tucked in my pocket. The kids, Emma and Jake, are with their mom this weekend, so it's just me, the hum of the fridge, and the flicker of the screen. The news anchor's perky voice cuts through tonight's Powerball jackpot is $53 million, and here are the winning numbers: 7, 14, 23, 31, 45. Powerball 18. My heart stops. Those are my numbers. Margaret's numbers. The ones I've played every week for years: our wedding day, Nathan's birth, our anniversary, our house number, the years we had his graduation. I fumble for my wallet, hands shaking like a leaf, and pull out the ticket. I check it once, twice, 3 times, muttering, "No way, no damn way." But there they are, in black and white: 7, 14, 23, 31, 45. Powerball 18. I've hit the jackpot, $53 million. I'm so stunned I can barely breathe, like the air's been sucked out of the room. For a split second, I want to run downstairs, bang on Nathan and Vanessa's door, and shout, "We're rich!" But then I stop cold. Margaret's letter flashes in my mind, her words clear as day. "Don't let them break you, Edward. You're my rock." I think about Vanessa's smug blueprints for that basement, her calling me an old guy to stash, and Nathan's weak nimwe noddy, his hands shaking over bills. They've been bleeding me dry, $1.300 a month, free labor, forged signatures, and now they think they can shove me out of sight. If I tell them about this ticket, they'll be all over it, acting like it's theirs, planning their fancy new life, while I'm still their cash cow. No way in hell. This ticket's in my name, bought with my $5, and it's my shot to take back my honor. I shove it back in my wallet, my mind racing. I've got to keep this quiet, play it smart, until I figure out my next move. The next morning, I'm in the laundry room folding clothes. Yep, still part of my family duty, when Vanessa barges in, arguing with Nathan about some overdue bill. She's rifling through my jacket looking for who knows what. Probably those grocery coupons I clip to save a buck. "Ed, you gotta stop leaving your junk around," she snaps, pulling out my wallet and tossing it on the counter. My heart skips as I see the lottery ticket peek out, but she's too busy yelling at Nathan to notice. "We can't keep floating like this, Nate," she says, her voice sharp. Nathan mumbles something, avoiding her eyes, looking like a kid caught stealing cookies. I grab my wallet, quick tucking the ticket deeper, and keep my face blank. "Sorry, Vanessa," I say, playing the good old dad, but inside, I'm sweating bullets. She saw the ticket, but didn't check the numbers. Thank God she's too wrapped up in her fight. That was too close, but it's a wake-up call. I've got to be careful because if they get wind of this, they'll try to sink their claws into it. I head back to my room, my mind spinning like a top. This $53 million, it's not just money. It's power, a chance to take back the man I used to be, the dad who built a home, who stood tall for his family. I think about Emma and Jake, how I can't let Nathan and Vanessa's greed mess up their lives. I think about Margaret, how she carried Nathan's gambling secret to protect me, how she left me a shield with Lawrence. That forged paper, Vanessa's basement plan, they're all pieces of a puzzle I'm starting to see clearly. I'm not just mad anymore. I'm determined. This ticket's my ace in the hole, and I'm not playing it until I know exactly what Nathan and Vanessa are up to. I've got that call with Lawrence coming up, and I'm betting he's got answers about Margaret's shield. I'm done being their doormat. This old man's got a fight left in him, and I'm ready to play my hand. If you're still with me, stick around. This is about to get wild. All right, if you thought this couldn't get any dirtier, hold tight because Vanessa's scheme just got a whole lot uglier, and I'm about to drop a bombshell. I'm Edward Bennett, a 67-year-old widower still buzzing from that $53 million lottery ticket I'm keeping under wraps, my ace in the hole against Nathan and Vanessa's dirty tricks. That forged investment fund paper, their plan to stash me in the basement, and Margaret's letter about Nathan's gambling debt have me seeing red. Mildred's pep talk at the senior center pushed me to call Lawrence, our old lawyer, and now I'm sitting in his office ready to uncover what Margaret's shield is. What I find out makes my blood boil. Vanessa's not just bleeding me dry. She's trying to steal everything Margaret and I built. But I'm not letting her get away with it. I'm playing dumb for now, gathering ammo for the fight of my life. It's a crisp Monday morning, and I'm in Lawrence's office, the kind of place that smells like old books and justice. I've got that crumpled investment fund paper in my pocket, the one with my name forged in that too neat handwriting. Lawrence, all gray hair and steady eyes, leans back in his chair looking at me like he's been waiting for this day. "Ed, I'm glad you came," he says, pulling out a thick folder. "Margaret made me promise to keep this quiet, unless you needed it." I slide the forged paper across his desk, my hands steady, but my heart pounding. "Lawrence, this ain't my signature," I say. "What the hell's Vanessa up to?" He squints at it, his face darkening, and then he drops the hammer. "She's been forging your name to transfer the deed of your old house, the white one with black shutters, into a fund she controls. It's a slick move to lock in your assets, Ed." My jaw drops. Our house, the one Margaret and I poured our hearts into. That's low even for Vanessa. Lawrence flips open the folder, pulling out papers stamped with Margaret's name. "She hired a private investigator before she passed," he says. "Nathan and Vanessa are drowning in debt, $47,000 in credit cards, car loans, and a mortgage that's underwater. They've been living on borrowed time, using your Social Security to keep the lights on. I feel like I've been sucker punched. Nathan, my boy, not just a gambler, but neck deep in this mess. And Vanessa trying to steal our house. I think about her smug blueprints calling me an old guy to stash, and Nathan's weak nods, his hands shaking over bills. Margaret warned me about her sharper than she seems, and now I see it. She's not just after my $1,300 a month. She's gunning for everything we built. I'm so mad I could spit nails, but Lawrence holds up a hand. There's more, Ed. Margaret left you a trust fund $500,000 sitting in an account earning interest for 2 years. She wanted you protected if Nathan and Vanessa turned on you. But we need to keep this quiet until you're ready to confront them. I sit there stunned, gripping the arms of the chair. $500,000. Margaret, my rock, even in her final days, was looking out for me, knowing Nathan might let me down again. That trust fund, it's her shield, the one she wrote about in that letter with her shaky handwriting. I think about Emma and Jake, those kids I love caught in the middle of their parents' greed. I can't let Vanessa's claws sink into them, too. But my mind's racing. $53 million in my pocket, $500,000 from Margaret, and proof Vanessa's forging my name. It's a lot to take in, like I'm holding a loaded gun and don't know where to aim yet. Lawrence leans forward, his voice low. Ed, don't tip your hand. Play along, act like you don't know, and gather more evidence. We'll set up a family meeting, lay it all out when the time's right. I nod my jaw tight. I've been their doormat long enough, but now I'm building a case to take them down. I leave Lawrence's office, my head spinning, but my resolve hard as steel. I think about Nathan, how he's turned into this guy who can't even look me in the eye, letting Vanessa run the show while he's drowning in debt. I think about that moment in our old yard, teaching him to hammer nails, him calling me his hero. Where'd that boy go? Is he too far gone? Or is he just too weak to fight Vanessa's schemes? And Vanessa, God, she's colder than I thought. Forging my name to steal our house, acting like I'm some old fool she can outsmart. But Margaret saw it coming, left me a way out, and that $53 million ticket's my trump card. I'm not telling them a damn thing, not yet. I'm gonna play the good old dad, keep my eyes open, and build my case. Vanessa thinks she's got me cornered, but she's about to find out this old man's got plenty of fight left. If you're still with me, stick around. This is where I start turning the tables. All right, we're getting to the part where I start playing chess, while Nathan and Vanessa think it's checkers. I'm Edward Bennett, a 67-year-old widower sitting on a $53 million lottery ticket and a $500,000 trust fund from Margaret, my ace in the hole against their dirty tricks. That forged investment fund paper, their plan to stash me in the basement, and Nathan's old gambling debt. They've got me seeing red. But I'm not blowing my cover yet. Lawrence, my lawyer, just confirmed Vanessa's trying to steal our old house's deed, and Nathan's drowning in $47,000 of debt. Mildred's words, honor doesn't have an expiration date, are burning in me, and I'm ready to turn the tables. I'm meeting her again to lay out a plan, one that'll make Nathan and Vanessa spill their greedy guts, and I'm playing it cool, like the old man they think they can outsmart. This is where I set the trap. It's a Sunday afternoon, and I'm back at the Fairview Senior Center, sipping that same burnt coffee, my wallet heavy with that winning ticket, and my pocket stuffed with Margaret's letter and that forged paper. Mildred's across from me, her eyes sparkling like she's ready for a fight. Ed, you're looking like a man with a secret, she says, grinning like we're planning a heist. I lean in, keeping my voice low, and spill it all, the $53 million jackpot, Vanessa's scheme to grab our house, the trust fund Margaret left me. Mildred lets out a whistle, shaking her head. Holy cow, Ed, you're sitting on a gold mine and they're trying to rob you blind. She's right, and it's got me fired up. We gotta make 'em talk, Mildred, I say. Get 'em to show their hand. She nods, all business. You need to record them, Ed. Play dumb act, like you're ready to sign their papers, and let 'em dig their own grave. I'll help you practice, make sure you don't tip 'em off. Her grin's contagious, and for the first time in years, I feel like I'm not alone in this mess. We spend the afternoon in the corner of the senior center like a couple of old spies. Mildred's got me practicing my poker face, keeping my voice steady, my eyes blank. "Ed, you gotta sound like you're still their pushover," she says, pretending to be Vanessa. "Say, sure, I'll sign. Just tell me what's in it for us." I try at fumbling at first, but she coaches me through, making me repeat until I sound like the tired old dad they expect. I jot down questions to nudge them, things like, "What's this fund gonna do for the family?" or "How much are we talking here?" stuff, to get Vanessa bragging about her big plans. Mildred's sharp throwing in tips like, "Watch Nathan's face, he's the weak link. If he cracks, you'll get the truth." I'm nervous, but her fire's catching, and I'm starting to feel like I can pull this off. I'm not just fighting for me, I'm fighting for Emma and Jake to keep them safe from their parents' greed. Later that evening, I'm back at Nathan's house doing dishes, yep, still on family duty, when I hear Vanessa and Nathan arguing in the living room. She's laying into him, voice sharp as a razor. "We need that fund signed, Nate, or we're sunk," she snaps. Nathan mumbles something, then says, "I'm trying. Okay, I don't want to end up like last time with that old debt." My ears perk up. Old debt. He's talking about the $20,000 gambling mess Margaret bailed him out of, the one she hid to spare me the pain. I keep scrubbing plates, my face blank, but my heart's pounding. Nathan's voice is shaky, like he's scared of digging that hole again, but he's still letting Vanessa push him around. I want to storm in there, shake him and yell, "You're my boy! How'd you fall this far?" But I don't. I keep quiet, knowing every word they say is another nail in their coffin. I slip my phone into my pocket, ready to record when the time's right. I head to my room, my mind racing like a freight train. Nathan's gambling debt. Vanessa's forged papers, their plan to shove me in the basement. It's all coming together, and it's uglier than I thought. I think about that moment in our old yard, Nathan calling me his hero, promising to protect me. Now he's repeating the same mistakes, letting Vanessa pull the strings while he drowns in debt. It hurts like hell, like losing him all over again. But Mildred's words keep me grounded. Honor doesn't have an expiration date. She's right. I'm not just some old man they can fleece. I've got $53 million a trust fund, and Margaret's strength backing me up. I sit on my bed practicing those questions in my head, keeping my voice steady, my face blank. I'm gonna play their game, let them think they've got me beat, and get them to spill every greedy plan they've got. Tomorrow I'll start asking, start recording, and set the trap. If you're still with me, hang on, this old man's about to outsmart them all. All right, this is it. The moment I've been waiting for, where I turn the tables and make Nathan and Vanessa choke on their own lies. I'm Edward Bennett, a 67-year-old widower sitting on a $53 million lottery ticket and a $500,000 trust fund from Margaret, my secret weapons against their dirty tricks. I've got proof of their schemes, forged papers to steal our old house. $47,000 in debt they're drowning in, and Nathan's gambling past that Margaret hid to protect me. Mildred's fire and Lawrence's advice have me ready to play my hand. I've been practicing my questions, recording their greedy chatter, and now it's time for a family meeting that'll hit like a freight train. I'm done being their doormat, and I'm about to show them the dad they thought they could outsmart. This is where the truth comes out, and let me tell you, it feels damn good. It's a tense Saturday evening, and we're in Nathan's living room, the air thick with the smell of Vanessa's overpriced candles. I'm sitting at the head of the table, my wallet with that winning ticket in my pocket, Margaret's letter, and the forged paper tucked close. Lawrence is next to me, his folder of evidence ready, looking calm but sharp, like a man who's seen it all. Nathan's fidgeting his hands, twitching like they did over those bills, and Vanessa's got her arms crossed, that fake smile plastered on her face. "Ed, what's this about?" she asks, her voice all sugar like she's talking to a kid. I take a deep breath, steady my nerves, and say, "It's time we talk about a family. Vanessa. Real family." My voice is calm, but inside, I'm a volcano ready to erupt. I'm not just mad, I'm ready to take back my honor. I start slow, pulling out the forged investment fund paper, the one with my name in that too neat handwriting. "This ain't my signature," I say, sliding it across the table. Vanessa's smile falters, but she tries to laugh it off. "Oh, Ed, it's just a mix-up," she says, but her eyes dart to Nathan, who's looking at the floor. I don't let up. "No mix-up, Vanessa. Lawrence checked this was your move to transfer the deed of our old house, the one Margaret and I built, into your fund." Her face goes pale and Nathan's hands stop twitching. He's frozen. I nod to Lawrence, who opens his folder and lays out the private investigator's report. "You two are $47,000 in debt, credit cards, car loans, a mortgage you can't pay. You've been using my $1,300 a month to keep the lights on, haven't you?" Vanessa tries to interrupt, but I cut her off. "Don't. I've got proof." Then I pull out my phone, hit play, and let their own words do the talking. The recording crackles to life, Vanessa's voice sharp and greedy. "We need that fund signed, Nate, or we're sunk." Nathan's mumble. "I'm trying. Okay. I don't want to end up like last time with that old debt." And then Vanessa, cold as ice. "Once Ed's in the basement, we're set. He's just an old guy we need to stash." The room goes dead quiet. Vanessa's jaw drops, and Nathan's face crumples like he's been caught red-handed. I lean forward, my eyes locked on Nathan. "That old debt, son. You mean the $20,000 gambling mess Margaret bailed you out of? The one she hid to spare me?" His eyes widen and he stammers, "Dad? But I'm not done. You promised you'd protect me, Nathan, back when you called me your hero. What happened to that boy?" My voice cracks and I hate it, but it's raw, real. I'm not just calling him out. I'm begging for the son I lost. Vanessa tries to jump, in her voice shrill. "Ed, you're blowing this out of proportion. We're family, but I'm ready for her." I pull out Margaret's letter, holding it up like a shield. "Margaret saw this coming. She warned me about you. Vanessa said, 'You're sharper than you seem.' She left me a trust fund, $500,000, to protect me from your greed." "You didn't know about that, did you?" Vanessa's face twists, and Nathan looks like he's been punched. I stand up, my voice steady now. "You've taken $50,000 from me over 2 years, rent-free labor, my pride. You plan to steal our house, shove me in a basement, and live off my money. But you're done." I pause, letting it sink in, then drop the final bomb. "And tomorrow I'm holding a press conference to tell the world what you've done. Every neighbor, every friend will know the truth." Vanessa gasps, her hands shaking, and starts to cry, but it's crocodile tears. And I'm not buying it. "Ed, please, we didn't mean it," she pleads, but I shake my head. Nathan's staring at the table, tears in his eyes, muttering, "I'm sorry, Dad. Sorry." After all this, I want to believe him, want to see the boy who promised to protect me. But all I see is the man who let Vanessa run this show. My heart's breaking, but it's also soaring. I'm not their doormat anymore. I'm the dad who built a family, who stood tall, and I'm taking that back. I think about Emma and Jake, how I'll use that $53 million to give them a future free from this mess. Margaret's watching, I know she is, and I'm making her proud. I look at Nathan and Vanessa, their faces pale, and feel a weight lift off my chest. I'm not just Edward Bennett, the old guy they tried to break. I'm a father, and I'm back. If you're still with me, stick around. This fight's about to go public, and it's gonna be one hell of a show. All right, we've made it to the end. And let me tell you, this is where it all comes full circle, where I take back my life and make sure Nathan and Vanessa get what's coming to them. I'm Edward Bennett, a 67-year-old widower, and after everything, the forged papers, the basement plan, Nathan's gambling debt, and their $47,000 hole, I laid it all bare in that family meeting, with a $53 million lottery ticket and Margaret's $500,000 trust fund in my pocket. I'm done being their doormat, Mildred's fire. Lawrence's evidence and Margaret's strength got me here, and now I'm standing in front of a crowd of reporters ready to tell the world the truth about what my own son and his wife did to me. I'm not just fighting for myself. I'm fighting for Emma and Jake, for Margaret's memory, and for every old-timer who's ever been treated like they don't matter. This is my comeback, and it feels like I'm finally breathing again. It's a bright Monday morning, and I'm on the front lawn of Nathan's house, cameras, flashing microphones shoved in my face. Lawrence is by my side, his folder of evidence tucked under his arm, and Mildred's in the crowd giving me a thumbs up, like we're pulling off the heist of the century. I take a deep breath, my voice steady as I start. I'm Edward Bennett, and for 2 years my son Nathan and his wife Vanessa took $50,000 from me, $1,300 a month in rent-free labor, fixing their house, watching their kids, all while they called me a burden. The reporters scribble furiously, and I keep going. They forged my signature to steal the deed to the house my late wife Margaret and I built. They planned to shove me in a basement out of sight while living off my money. I pause, letting it sink in. But family's supposed to mean something. Honor's supposed to mean something. And I'm here to say, don't let anyone, even your own blood, treat you like you're less than. The crowd's quiet, hanging on every word. And I feel Margaret's strength in me, like she's right here. Then Lawrence steps up, holding up a letter from our neighbor Mrs. Thompson, who's known me since Nathan was in diapers. This was sent to the local paper, he says, reading it aloud. Nathan and Vanessa Bennett have disgraced their family, exploiting Edward, a good man who deserves respect. Fairview won't stand for it. The reporters gasp, and I see faces in the crowd, neighbors, old friends nodding their eyes angry. Nathan and Vanessa are inside, watching from the window, their faces pale as ghosts. Vanessa's trying to hide her tears, but they're not fooling anyone. Not after that recording I played at the family meeting, her voice sneering about stashing me, Nathan mumbling about his old debt. The neighbors turn their backs, whispering, and I know Nathan and Vanessa are done in this town. They've got their $47,000 debt, their underwater mortgage, and now a community that sees them for who they are. Justice doesn't get much sweeter than that. I wrap up the press conference, my heart lighter than it's been in years. I'm starting over, I tell the reporters, and I'm setting up a fund, Margaret's Hope, to help seniors like me folks who've been used by their own families. No one should feel like they don't matter. The crowd claps, and Mildred's grinning ear to ear like she knew I had it in me. I think about Emma and Jake, how I'll use that $53 million to give them a future free from their parents' greed. Nathan tried to apologize at the meeting, tears in his eyes, muttering, "I'm sorry, Dad, but it's too late." I wanted to believe him, wanted to see the boy who called me his hero. But all I see is the man who let Vanessa run this show, who let his gambling and weakness betray us all. Vanessa's crocodile tears and fake pleas didn't move me either. She's the one who forged my name, who called me dead weight. They're on their own now, facing their debts and their shame. A week later, I'm in my new apartment at Meadowbrook Senior Community, a cozy two-bedroom place with a view of the park. Nothing like Nathan's cold beige guest room. I'm sitting at a small table with Mildred, sharing a pot of coffee that doesn't taste like burnt regret. "Ed, you did it," she says, raising her mug. "You showed him what a real man's made of." I laugh, feeling lighter than I have in years. "Couldn't have done it without you, Mildred," I say, and we clink mugs like old warriors toasting a victory. I tell her about Margaret's hope, how I've already got a lawyer working to fund programs for seniors who've been pushed around like Mildred was by her sister, like I was by my own son. It's not just about the money. It's about giving folks their dignity back, something Margaret would have loved. The next day, I'm out in Meadowbrooks Park, fixing a wobbly bench, my toolbox by my side. It feels good to work with my hands again, not for Nathan or Vanessa, but for me. I pull out a photo of Margaret from my wallet, her smile as bright as the Iowa sun. "We did it, sweetheart," I whisper, my voice catching. "I kept my honor just like you wanted." In the distance, I hear kids laughing and I think of Emma and Jake, how I'll make sure they grow up knowing what family really means. Back in Fairview, Nathan and Vanessa are still in that house, buried under their debts, shunned by neighbors who know the truth. I don't wish them ill, but they made their bed and now they're living in it. Me, I'm free, standing tall, the man I always was. If you've stuck with me this far, know this honor doesn't have an expiration date, and I'm living proof. Share this story if it hit you, because there's a lot more folks out there who need to hear it.